Hey! Hey guys, welcome back. I'm doing part 2 of my trays. Got my foam out and I'm ready to go. So, hey, come on in. Let's get this done. I'm gonna go ahead and get my iPad set up. Look, alright, so I'm in both places. Let me kill the volume. Alright, so if you got, hey! So if you guys were watching me earlier, I'm going to put my iPad over here, you saw that I was making trays like this out of clay. So this is one of these guys right here. And I'm going to do the second part. So earlier I rolled out a slab of clay on my slab roller. That's this machine right here. And now I cut that slab out and now I'm going to press it into the foam. And you might want to check out this awesome foam I got. This was a toddler mattress, so it's super deep, so I can press down really far. And hey, it's pretty awesome. It was my daughter's, and I repurposed it. All right, so let's start. I want to get this done because I got a bunch of other work, and I don't want to do another hour-long scope. So here's my slab from earlier, and you can see it's much stiffer now. And so I just sit this on the foam, and I have my board that I've already predetermined will fit in the middle here. And so this is where I get my exercise. Where did I put my stool? Let me grab that. So if you're taller and if you have a big piece of foam like me and you're short, you need a stool. If you're tall, you're good, or maybe you have a smaller piece of foam. But I have to actually stand on my stool. No, 2x4 is next, yes. I have another tray, I'll do a 2x4. This one is the board first. So let me press this one out and then I'll do the 2x4 one, Corey. So I've got it lined up where I want it, and this decoration is the stamp pattern that I did earlier. And then I just press evenly and watch the sides. See how they press down in? I won't fall. Now look, see how the sides are staying? See those sides? Beautiful. And then I just have a pile of bats. Get back off my stool. I do this all day long, up and down on that stool. And so this is the tricky part. I'm balancing the bat against me, and I will just slide this guy off like that. So now I'm going to pull the board out, and you can see there's my tray. So this tray. Pretty cool, huh? But you can see how nice the sides popped up. And I can go in, and I like to do a little fiddling. Just a little bit. Adding a little bump here. And then I just check them. I just check to make sure they're popped up the same amount and adjust them a little bit, because I don't want them to be uneven. And that one looks good. So I will put plastic on top of this. Thank you. Yeah, I've had some practice at making these. So I'll put plastic on top of this, and then I'll weigh it down with one of those weights. Leave foam on floor. Yeah, I know, but it's the floor, right? I don't know. I could try that. I could try the floor. All right, and so here's the 2x4 for you, Corey. So here's my slab, ready to go. And the inside of this one, like making a cake, yeah. So this is my cracker tray inside, so I know. Hi, Kiri. So I don't throw this away and think it's just a regular 2x4. I wrote that on there. And so I'm going to do like with the other one. So line it up, and I measure. I use my fingers to kind of gauge the distance. Yeah, you could totally do that. You could totally use that with foam and everything. Alright, so here we go. Ready? I do sell these trays. So I just press it down and pop. Back up. Done. Pretty cool, huh? And then I'm going to slide this one off. Are you interested? Yeah, I have some here in my studio, but also Epic, E-P-O-C-H Gallery. They're in Manchester, Vermont. Sells my work. Woo. Sliding off. And pop. I'm working on my Etsy site. I do have an Etsy site. I don't have a lot of pieces there. I've been kind of trying to decide if I was going to do Etsy or my own website, like have a shop on my site. And after thinking about it, I'm going to do Etsy because my site is more of a portfolio and I want to keep it that way, and that way people could buy from the Etsy site. So I'm just fiddling with the edges here and checking it. You can see, you can check the sides to see if they're even, you know. And this one, Etsy, yeah, you're right. You're right. Etsy is better. Let me grab that tray when I'll show you this one. For those who didn't see earlier, here's a finished tray, and here's a tray in process. So I've got 3 more I'm going to press out. Does the board make a mark? So if you look, I don't know if that'll get it. There's a little bit of a mark. I'll just smooth it, but not really. I mean, it makes, on the done one I'll show. So it just makes this edge, which I want. Finish with plastic. Yeah, you know, that actually might not be a bad idea. Smooth the edges first, because what I will have to do now is, when this sets up enough, I go back with a sponge and usually a red rib and just smooth it with the red rib and then sponge it. Yeah. So you cut the shape out and then you plastic the edges so they're smooth. It's a good idea. So I'll think about, I might try that. Although I'm not going to do it now because I'm already under the board to make another pattern. Sure. If you guys are wondering what I'm looking at, I have my iPad here. You could totally put another pattern underneath. And no, if you want to buy my pieces, best thing is email me. And my email is, I think, linked to this Periscope account. So you can find it there. If not, you can go to my website and you can find it there. That's usually the best way to do it. And then we can do it via email. But my plan is, now that I've decided it's going to be Etsy, is to load that up this weekend with what I have available so that Monday it can go live. Well, I'll have it done. Don't drop my iPad. No, it's on this foam. It's good. My scopes are great. Thanks. Yes, so now that I've decided to do the Etsy, I've just got to get going with it and stop dragging my feet. You know, I always thought you had to sell your work through a gallery and somebody else had to represent you. And I've gotten to the point now where I don't think that anymore. I'm just like, I'll sell my own work. And it doesn't matter if it's through Etsy or my own site. I don't need to be vetted through a gallery. You know, the work vets itself, I think. Really? I don't know if that's what you need to say. All right, so this one's done. So anyhow, you know, it's that whole idea of having a gallery represent you and sell your work. Yeah. Well, my Etsy site, if you all want to find it, is The Porcelain Soldier. So it's capital T, capital P, capital S for everything. It is hard to self-promote. But I have galleries that don't really do much for me because I have so many other artists that my work just sits there, and, you know, it's not doing me any good if that work's just sitting there. It's The Porcelain Soldier, and each one of the words is capitalized. And I only have a few things on there. Right now I have pieces like, I'll show you. I have these little ruffled nesting plates. They're listed individually. The Porcelain Soldier, you got it. To make that tray, this tray will be ready in 2 weeks that I'm making right now. So I have some ruffled plates. I'm out of trays on the Etsy page. I know that for sure. This one isn't there yet, but it will be as soon as I photograph it. I've got a few cups, maybe a few cups in a mug left, maybe? I'm not sure. like I said, I'm just starting with the Etsy, so it's all new. But the trays are really awesome. I like making them because I can put pattern in them, and they're actually really fun. I just love it. Every time I press down and it pops up, it's like, yay. You know, do I take requests? It depends what it is. Yeah, I know. You know, after doing this, after 20 trays of pressing, you feel it. It's like, I guess I could try the on the floor thing. And I've used smaller foam, and it just doesn't work as well. I really like this foam because I can press far, and it pops the sides up. I mean, if you look, that's pretty popped up there, and I want that. I want that edge. Right. Yeah, pottery's not enough of a workout. The up and down on the stool. I got one left for today. So I went to have lunch and we had this horrible set up stamp mark opposite corner with dot to reposition. Oh, with the wood on the foam? Yeah, I could do that. That is a good tip. I've just gotten in the habit. You know, this is the thing, is you get in the habits of working a certain way, and it may not be the best way to work. It's just a habit, and it's hard to get out of it. Before the foam. Yeah. I'll have to try that. Thank you, Corey. Alright, so this is the question mark one, or fiddlehead fern one. That's popped up. This is the last one. So anyhow, we got a huge thunderstorm between me scoping the first time and this time. Really bad. I had to go rescue 2 of my chickens. They were hiding in the yard under a little shrub. Thanks for joining. Arlington is about 3 hours from Burlington. I'm actually going to be in Burlington tomorrow at Burlington City Arts for an art talk. Roberto Lugo is talking about his work. He's in the show called Dysfunction that I'm in as well. So I'll be scoping tomorrow from there, showing my work and maybe talking to Roberto. I will. So this is this one. I will totally say hi, Corey. So there's that one. Already done. Yay. Yeah, it's great. The show's been up since January, and it's about to come down next weekend. The 9th is its last day. And I'm going to... I wanted to scope about it earlier, but I didn't get back up there. So these are going to sit. I'm going to put plastic on top of them, and then I will weigh them down with a weight. Like, well, I could do one right now. I have a bunch of this dry cleaning plastic. Now the kitty litter, exactly. Time for the kitty litter. So if you guys go to a dry cleaner and they give you the plastic, save it. Also, meow. Also, window film, like the stuff you put over your windows to winterize, is really good to use. So I usually, let's see that one. I like them to sit up a little while before I cover it. So I'll drape it with plastic, and then I'll take one of my bags from my shirt sleeves that's filled with litter, and I'll lay it in here, and I can spread it out so it lines up exactly and fills that space. But it's not plastic. Oh, banana boxes. Okay. Anyhow, I have this lined up so that it fills up to the edge, but not on the side that's popped up. I don't want it flattening my tray. All I want it to do is weigh the bottom down. Hey, Ash. So this is it. I mean, that's now ready to go. This will sit on the shelf. Tomorrow I'll check it. I probably will do this edge smoothing tomorrow, and then I'll cover it back up for another day or two, and then I'll check it again. And usually about 5 days out, I uncover it and let it just dry on its own. But I don't want to uncover too soon, or it will crack, or it will pop. Like this inside, even when you think it's dried enough, it's not. It'll try to pop up. So that's my make some trays scope, and that was part 2. The next thing that these trays will get done after I've smoothed the edges is going to be, do the Mishima, which is this right here. Won't it be too, no, because what I do is I will do the edges, let it sit for a couple days. I will wax this area right here, cover it back up, and let it sit a couple more days, and then do the Mishima. So it would normally be too dry, but because I'm doing a wax, like a wax method, it's okay. It works out. I'm not sure if you're doing regular Mishima, if it gets too dry, it flakes and cracks off. With the wax, it keeps it together. It buys me a day or two. So I'll be doing that. Wait, makes sense. Yeah, I like the wax. That's how I do all my Mishima. Now, I used to do it the traditional way, but the wiping away was causing a lot of problems. I haven't, no, but I'm more than willing to try the shellac because the wax gets too thick sometimes. I'll show you my wax. Hold on, I'll grab it. It's the Wax On. This is what I use. The no drip Wax On. It's good, and you have to put it on thin. High water, yeah, they have Forbes. Are you talking about the Forbes wax, Jamie? I don't thin this I don't thin down. I've used the Forbes before. Wax on, wax off. Yeah. I've used the Forbes before and I like it a lot. They don't ship in the winter. Yeah. Shellac. Alright, I'll look in the shellac because when I do the Mishima with this wax, if it is at all thick, it bubbles up, and then when I etch through, sometimes it doesn't go. This one was fine, but sometimes what will happen is my line, you know, this black line here, I'll carve it and it will look like I've gotten through it, and I won't realize until it comes out of the bisque that the line didn't go all the way through the wax. And so then I'll have like a blank space, you know, like it skipped. Yeah. So, right, shellac. I have some actually for another purpose, but I do have some, so I can give it a try. But so that's it. That's all I got for trays. That's my tray scope. So if you guys got any other questions, shout them out. If not, I'm hand building mugs today because apparently I'm making 1 million mugs now. Somebody roped me into. I thought we were doing 100 mugs in 100 days, and then someone said 1 million mugs. So I'm willing to do 1 million mugs, but only in my lifetime. My life. 1 million mugs in my life. That's my goal, right? So that's it. I'm gonna go build some mugs, which hey, is Lisa here? Oh, and I'm like done scoping now. I mean, I could put the bottoms of my hand-built mugs. Those aren't very fun. Lisa just got, oh yeah, everybody in Australia just got up. You missed me pressing out the foam on the, for my trays. Kind of a bummer. All right, so who's gonna scope? Someone else could scope, and I'll just watch that and comment. Lisa could do that, you know? Because I mean, I could take it over, but I don't want to scope all day. Gotta save some things for another scope, right? No, you haven't brushed your teeth. You can't smell on Periscope. You're all good, right? I have nothing left to press out. What else do I have to do? Well, so who was here earlier and saw my flasks when we had the discussion about flask spout in the middle or on the side? Because I'm still trying to get a definitive, like, voting situation. Right, so I'm not sure. I'm still up in the air about that flask thing. Like, do I want them? We'll watch on replay. Yeah, so is it middle? Middle. So who said that I have to do the... Don't invite followers because I'm going to get off soon. I don't want people to... Why choose? I know. Why not have everything? Just get it all. What else am I doing? That's it. I've got to go do those mugs. I like side. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I just think the idea of pouring, if it's in the middle, as you're pouring, some of it's going to hit the top, right? I mean, some of it I'm going to grab some mugs to demonstrate with, because it's just weird talking without them. I mean some flasks. So, you know, you think about it. You're going to pour from these vessels, right? Gulping. Well, if you're just drinking this, then it doesn't matter. But if you're pouring it into a cup, in the middle, you put off the middle, but not the end. Well, then if you pull, and then any dribbles, it dribbles on the top. But this one, you know, if it's pouring, you know, if it's pouring out into a cup, let's get a cup. We're going to do it, we're going to do it. So I got a little cup here, and I'm pouring. When you stop, if any drips, well, it's just a tiny bit. It shouldn't drip, but it could happen. But with this, I'm just seeing more of a potential. You pour this way? What do you got? Is it this? Am I pouring the wrong way? See, I'm thinking you pour this way. See, look at my flask experience. I don't have any. I'm getting there, though. Pour in the center. Center, yeah. Yeah, yeah. But this way, I just love the look at that. Isn't that kind of awesome? Yeah, in the middle. Glugging. I know. These are great. I want to call them canteens, though, because when I think of something like this, I think of a canteen. Am I Canadian? I am not. But I live in Vermont, and if you're asking me. And I was raised in New Hampshire, mostly, which is near the border of Canada. Does that matter? You're Canadian? Ah, do I sound Canadian? Or does that have something to do with the flask situation? I have to fill it. Yes, well, these are drying, and I'm actually trying to dry them sort of fast. No, I didn't think so. I've lived everywhere. I have a bit of everything. They're still really wet. Canteen. Right, I know, the canteen. You take them to camp, get your, yeah, or vodka. Sip and scope from a flask, right? I don't sound Canadian. No, if anything, I get y'alls coming out sometimes because I lived in Texas and North Carolina and Virginia. So I still slip back into the y'all. And after I visit friends, when I go to North Carolina every summer for a couple weeks, y'all, yeah, y'all. Whenever I go back to North Carolina for a few weeks and I come home, I met my husband in Texas. Texas is awesome. Like, it's a good place. You know, had to go to Texas to marry a boy from Georgia. That's, you know what I say. All right, I feel like I'm just wasting the time. Woohoo! Yeehaw! I know. I'm not opposed to another sip and scope, but I don't think we should do it tonight for those who've asked. I gotta go make a ton of mugs. Put bottoms on my mugs. I'm going. All right, bye guys. Thanks for the info about the flask spouts and for watching my tray. I'll see y'all later. Bye guys.